Hello, hello. Good evening, everyone. Ayan, live naman tayo dito sa ating My Finance MD Docu Season 3 na tayo, and our first episode is very, very important for doctors. So let's go ahead na tayo dito. So is it ethical to promote your medical practice using social media this 2022? So what are the ethical ways? Kasi ang daming doctors ngayon, it's actually we're seeing a lot of medical pages and everything that we have right now. So check natin ano bang nangyayari. Ano ba yung kailangan natin? So we have a very special guest. Okay. Ang guest natin is actually my classmate in medical school. Ayan. Ang napakagwapong doctor kong classmate. Magpakita ka na, Doc Jello. So introduce ko lang siya. He graduated, okay, in our school, PLM, classmate ko talaga to. And right now, he is a medical officer in Valenzuela hospital there. Also, a medical ethics associate professor in PLM right now. And meron din siyang master's in public management, major in health systems. And also, may master's din siya right now. He's taking, or tapos na ata siya. Tama ba, Doc Zello? On National Security and Administration. So, sobrang dami niyang ginagawa sa buhay niya. Let us all welcome Dr. Angelo de Guzman. Yay! So,
Hey,
mag-hi ka naman sa viewers natin kung may viewers tayo. Ayan.
Hello, good evening po sa lahat. Sa mga
Ayan.
fans ni Dr. Pinky.
Fans mo na rin. So, alam ko, a lot of doctors here, yung iba dito will be watching the replay of this. Pero for those of you who can join us, you're very much welcome to watch our live here on Facebook, and also we will post this also in YouTube once na natapos na namin. So, yan. Start na tayo, Doc Jello, ha? Ayan, nakikita niyo ba yung gwapo kong classmate? Stop ko na tong stage natin. Ayan, para makita ka nila na. Okay, so Doc Jello, as we are seeing right now, the rise of social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, etc. Ang dami, di ba? So, what do medical ethics say about doctors engaging to these platforms? Kasi may mga nagsasabi sa akin, pinagbabawalan daw sila ng mga seniors nila or bawal daw, hindi daw pwede ganito. So, ang question ko, ano ba talaga? Okay lang ba that doctors are actually engaging in these kinds of platforms? Sabihin mo nga kami, ano ba yung nasa rule? Meron ba tayong rules on that? Okay, go.
Actually, kung titignan mo ang PMA Code of Ethics, which was updated just this 2019, there's nothing specific about the use of social media platforms, especially in promoting your practice. I mean, even in yung actual na, iba, we are allowed to have signages. So, I mean, siguro the need right now is for the PMA and the Professional Regulations Commission to update. Kasi masyadong mabilis yung technology. Hindi nga makahabol yung ating mga policies. So that's where I am. But we can discuss actually yung mga related doon. Kasi the use of social media per se, hindi naman bawal sa ating mga doctors. Pero how do you use it? Doon tayo magkakaroon ng discussion. So there.
Sorry, nakamute ako. So ngayon, ang next question ko, ayan nga, related dun sa sinabi ko kanina. Someone told me before na yung senior niya mismo, seniors niya reprimanded her for posting her clinic hours and hospitals on her social media. page. May social media page na siya. So, ang question ko, bawal ba? If not, ano lang ba yung allowed to be post? Ano ba yung pwede lang na i-post sa social media? Okay?
Actually, if you look at again, we'll go back to the PMA Code of Ethics, PMA PRC Code of Ethics for doctors. Hindi bawal mag-post ng clinic hours in your clinic, for example. So, the pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic, shifted the practice of doctors from face-to-face only to virtual. So dati, virtual was very limited before the pandemic. Pero meron na. Yun nga lang, nung pandemic and there was a shortage of doctors, shortage of space and restrictions, we saw na the need for virtual consultations, especially those na hindi naman kailangan agad-agad ng physical examination. So we were able to adjust. The health system at that time was able to adjust, and posting your clinic hours actually in your FB page is technically not unethical. Siguro it's with the use of advertisements and halimbawa may FB page ka and then you spent siguro a lot of money to have a lot of exposure kasi when you sponsor diba, sponsored ads, so you get more mileage. Kumbaga there has to be a limitation with the use of that function in any social media platform, and especially if you are endorsing a specific clinic and kung ikaw yung doctor mismo na nakalagay doon kasi back in 2008 meron ding yung old PMA Code of Ethics, nagkaroon sila ng implementing rules and regulations, mga guidelines for that specific one. And it specifically said na may limitasyon yung paggamit ng mga ano na yon ng means ng how do you advertise yourself. Hindi naman bawal totally, but there are limitations to it. So, yun nga lang is not so far as I know, pag regular signages, I was trying to look for one kung meron ba updated. Ewan ko lang, Dr. Pingi, kung may na-encounter ka. Pero so far ngayon, wala naman. Hindi lang siguro pwede yung billboard level na sizes. And I would really encourage our friends in the PMA and the PRC as well to speak with their respective subspecialties to clarify these things. Kasi mahihirapan din tayo kung halimbawa, syempre tayo out of respect for our senior doctors, mentors, na sabihin, oy bawal yan, ganito, ganito. And then, but they could not specifically say why. Siguro, ano na lang, let's just respect their views and also, maybe tone down. Baka nakikita nila, baka post ka ng post or something, ganun, which is not bad. Sabihin mo na lang na well, a noted doctor. So ang bawal lang naman kasi when you're endorsing a specific clinic or hospital. So halimbawa, talaga yung outside of the hospital itself or outside of the vicinity of the clinic. So,
okay. So ang technically pwede talaga sa clinic mo, 'di ba, maglagay. So social media, ang naintindihan ko doon is pwede mo lagay yung clinic hours mo, 'di ba? Pwede mong ilagay, i-post doon. Ito yung hospital ko at ito yung clinic hours ko to that. Kasi tama nga naman kasi this pandemic changed everything, 'di ba? So, as much as possible, hindi lumalabas yung mga tao. So, paano nila malalaman kung ano yung hours mo, yung clinic hours mo, at saka kung saan ka ba nagki-clinic, tama, Doc?
Yes. Yeah. Usually, by word of mouth. Minsan may nagtatanong lang, uy, meron bang doctor kang kilala pwedeng mag-online consult? So, syempre, you don't want to give your personal social media account. You would give them your Facebook page o kaya naman another means to contact you. Ano ba yun? Ayoko mag-endorse. Pero merong mga online platforms na available to
Mm.
our colleagues
Yeah,
na
yeah.
they can use.
May gustong pumasok sa Zoom natin, si Doc Roslyn.
Go.
Papapasukin natin at baka may tanong siya, di ba? Okay. To those who are watching right now, if you have question, please type into our comment or so that we can answer that. So, next question ko, Doc Roslyn, meron ka bang question? Ayan, nandito na siya sa ating Zoom. Okay, so wala pa? So, number 3 question ko, Doc. Usually, doctors, di ba usually sa social media platforms nila, ang ginagawa nila, they educate people there. So, okay lang
Yeah.
ba na, kunwari, you educate people, pero kasi in rules, usually in marketing or anything, you have at the end, you have a call to action or kunwari, you can visit my clinic, after educating, you can go here, pwede ba yon? Is it allowed to put call to action after each education or any post on education on that?
Well, that's a gray area also. Siguro if opinion ko lang yung ina-ask mo, if you're going to do, social media can be done to educate people in many ways. Like it can be serious type, parang lecture type, mga ano ba yan, short clips like 30 seconds, 60 seconds, or even as long as 3 minutes on TikTok. You can have one like that in minutes or even an hour for Facebook or YouTube. Wala pang definite guidelines for the Philippines right now. But if you ask me, if your aim is to educate, then just educate. If you are, kumbaga, it's a form of ano din kasi, marketing na may come on ka na sa pasyente na, oh, ito. But there are types of educating online na medyo comical or nagpapatawa din sila. And even yung iba, medyo rated, ano ba to, SPG or R18. May nakikita ako sa TikTok na ganun minsan na doctors talking about sex or sexually related topics na hindi siya, for me, hindi siya appropriate to discuss in that manner as a professional. Kung baga, to be appropriate about it. If your aim is to educate and behave like a physician while you're sharing that information. And siguro hindi naman masamang magsayaw, pero yung, alam mo yun, hinahalo mo yung medyo malicious content, sexual topic, tapos ano mo siya, you're carrying the name of doctors. Kumbaga, paano siseryosohin yung ikaw as a doctor and profession natin. If you remember Dr. Harry Go, may he rest in peace, he would always tell us, I don't care who you are, what you are, but in front of the patient, in front of people, you behave like a doctor. Because if you are already a doctor, tayo, and we were only 4th year medical students back then. So there, I hope that's clear, or if you want to clarify anything.
Yes. So parang siguro it really boils down to really ethics, yung basic human ethics na lalo na as a doctor, you have to be really ethical. Kung ano ba yung kilos ng doktor, tama ba ako, Dr. Zelo?
Yes, kasi may when you enter a certain profession, you are not already free to do all of the things you want to do. Kumbaga may rules-based decorum tayo. Lawyers have the same. So, di ba, if we are caught doing something of a criminal act or something of an immoral conduct, pwedeng matanggalan tayo ng lisensya. So, alam mo yun, wag na lang natin sigurong i-borderline yung mga ganong gawain. And respect the profession for what it is. If you want to dance, don't represent yourself as a doctor. represent yourself as a private individual, yung ganong bagay. Pag may
So,
medyo,
pwede, Doc, sa personal FB nila. Pwede.
oo, pwede na siguro doon. Ganon. And yun nga, if you aim to educate, educate. Hindi na siya yung, kasi ang, di ba, ang mangyayari kasi nun, you're already promoting your clinic. So tayo, di ba, ang limitation nga in your clinic is talabas lang. So hindi ka pwede maglagay ng billboard sa EDSA. Ito yung clinic ni Doktora Intal.
Yeah.
Punta kayo dito or ito yung kanyang link. Ganyan. So we're limited to that para fair practice for everyone. And then ganun din sa when you're I haven't seen any of our colleagues using any advertisements or sponsored ads. So which is healthy kasi kami din when I refer patients, ganun din. I talk to the doctor na colleague natin, classmate. Sabihin ko, oh ito, naghahanap ng ganito. Are you willing to take this patient on? Because we are actually free to decline, di ba? Patients if they are not emergency cases. So yun.
Yes. Okay, thank you for that, Doc Zelo. Ang dami natin natututunan. Si Doc Roslyn, meron ka bang itatanong sa amin? Ayan. Wala. Gusto niya lang manood. So anyway, next question ko. Ayan. What is the limit of advertising or marketing for doctors? May limit ba? Ano yung boundary?
Like I said kanina, hindi pa siya well-defined. Pero can you give me an example? Anong gusto mong pag-usapan? Online na practice or subspecialty practice pa siya, GP practice?
Siguro any practice, like kunyari ikaw lang you have the specialty na very important na konti lang yung ganun. Para like a specialty na kukonti lang kayo. Okay lang ba yun na mag-advertise ka? That this is what I can
Well,
do.
kung kukonti lang naman kayo, definitely doctors will know you and will refer patients to you. I mean, especially, let me give you an example. Mga developmental pedia. Sila I think kahit nung pandemic, nakapila yung pasyente sa kanila. So there was no need to advertise. Even surgeons, I guess, word of mouth. Ikaw, what other? Usually ang nakikita ko ng mga possible nito is dermatology and cosmetic or plastic surgery. More for the cosmetic side. What I see naman dun sa mga colleagues natin na nandoon, they don't have sponsored ads. What they do have are people who share or they get influencers who share. So, ayun.
So, pwede yun, Doc.
But-
Kunwari, mayroon kang patient, gusto mag-testimony. Pwede mo yun gawin. Pwede mo i-post yun sa social media. This is the testimony of my patient. Allowed ba yun?
Actually, hindi siya testimony. Ang sasabihin nung iba, bawa galing sila dun sa cosmetic or derma. Thank you, doktora ganito, for ganito, ganyan. For this service, ganyan. So, they mentioned that. So, it's a soft type of advertisement.
Soft advertising.
Yung iba ganon on their personal page. I guess it's safer if they share it from their personal page. But I see already aesthetic clinics and dermatologic clinics. But I don't know if doctors yung nagmaman kasi walang nakalagay. Kumbaga, it's just the name, the brand of the clinic. And then they're offering these services. Tapos merong ibang mga minsan nakatag, minsan hindi, yung mga kanilang patrons na influencers o medyo kilala. So, like I said, hindi pa certain yung PMA pagdating sa use of that. And I think these clinics and doctors are just being careful naman. I haven't seen so many ads. Ang alam ko nakikita ko mga ads minsan yung mga alternative medicines pa mga chiropractor, ganun. Usually yung nakikita ko. I don't know. It depends on the kasi how you search doon sa mga social media platform.
Okay, thank you for that. Okay. Next question, malapit na tayo kasi this is really a light topic kasi but it's very important lalo na ngayon sa rise ng social media. So ang next question ko is what is your suggestion, Doc, in terms of what can doctors do to tell the world about them that they exist? Especially ngayon na ang daming pwede na allowed na yung online consult because of the pandemic. So, ano yung pwede nilang gawin? Lalo na for those mga specialty na marami sila, di ba? Parang how they can stand out sa, sa lahat. Pwede ba yon? Or ano yung pwedeng suggestion mo for them?
Okay, so really, how can they stand out? Actually, ano naman nag-go online ka lang because there are patients that you can see naman na hindi face-to-face. So you're trying to limit pa rin, trying to be careful. We've not yet lifted our state of public health emergency. So we don't know after election how things will go. So I don't think the doctors need to advertise that well. Kailangan lang nila i-set up yung kanilang FB page or even Instagram, i-link nila kung ano yung i-link nila. Use TikTok with caution. If you are teaching, then just teach. Post your links there and let them go to the link if they're interested in your practice. Kasi usually the aim of TikTok is entertainment. Kasi mabilis siya eh. Hindi education, yes. Although it's very limited. So hindi mo magagawa yung parang after the video click the link and visit the website for clinic schedules. For me, let the patients, the possible patients, be the judge kung gusto nila. I mean, we're not advertising a spa, a salon, or other services na we're walang masyadong limitation. Kumbaga we are taking care of our profession, its nobility. So even lawyers, alam mo yun, I haven't seen them advertising kahit na may online courts na. So even with doctors, we have to be cautious. And just set it up, have somebody help you set it up para your friends, friends of friends, relatives can sabihin pag tinanong nila, oh, saan ka na nagki-clinic ngayon? Well, actually, kung gusto niyo online clinic na lang for the meantime, for mga ganitong cases, pwede naman. Para I don't have to charge you na mas malaki. Alam mo yun. Kasi there are also limitations. Na kapag kailangan ng physical exam, punta na lang kayo sa clinic, I'll give you a lab request and then we'll do para sabay-sabay na lahat. Alam mo yun, less exposure, less risk. I guess that's how you go about using social media. So no need to advertise, just tell your friends and family. I know even our colleagues will help you. I mean, we help one another, especially in our area. So I think that's enough. Yun lang.
Yeah. Yeah, totoo yan. Kasi usually, doctors tayo din nagtatanong, sino dito ang ganito? 'Di ba? Sa lugar na ito, nagre-refer tayo, 'di ba? So that's how we do it also. And yun nga, tama nga, you have to just set up para meron kang online presence, 'di ba? And eventually kasi you're going to use it in the future. And usually pag nag-a-announce ka rin sa patients mo, like, kunwari, wala ako sa ganitong time, you can announce it there too, di ba? And, yan. So, Doc Roslyn, may tanong ka na ba? Wala? So, okay. So, in your opinion, Doc, Jello, outdated na ba yung rules natin sa social media, marketing for doctors, so what we have in medical ethics, PMA, or in our profession, anong suggestion mo if yes, outdated na ba siya? If yes, anong suggestion mo na there's a need to change in what area?
Okay. I think we need to update. Kaka-update lang ng PMA Code of Ethics 2019 with PRC, but that was before the pandemic. So
Yeah,
really,
correct.
I guess
Nag-iba na.
kailangan, oo, nag-iba na naman yung landscape natin. So kailangan na namang kailangan na naman siyang ma-revise, have its implementing guidelines. Kasi if you put out a code of ethics, it's really up to the PRC and the PMA if they're going to word it like a law, which actually makes it more complicated. They have to simplify it enough para any doctor who has a background on medical legal, medical jurisprudence and medical ethics, bioethics, may be able to understand it. Kasi if you make it anything like a Republic Act, it's not going to be that easy to read. But the format we can follow, like maybe defining certain terms, like when you make a law, there's a definition of terms, and then the purpose of the law, preamble or something, and then yung mga how you divide the profession in terms of kung anong article yung for doctor to doctor relationship, yung mga professional relationship, doctor and allied medical professionals, and then physician patient, what else, physician and pharmaceutical industry, health and other health products and devices. What else? If you, medyo mahaba kasi if we discuss the whole Code of Ethics dated or adopted in September 2019. Pero it puts in yung mga topics natin nung med school, mga principle for respect for life, respect for person, autonomy, ganon. So I think kailangan mas ma-review ito, and kailangan sana ang mag-review yung mga well-learned sa medical ethics, Christian ethical principles, kasi we're primarily a Christian country also, and also have a representative from the minorities, even the Muslims who are practicing as doctors, na para we come to terms with what is essential in the practice of our profession here in the Philippines, because we cannot be always looking outward. Some doctors want to be more liberal in their approach, and yung nanganganib na even abortion would be legalized. Aside from those medically required na like yung ectopic pregnancy. So alam mo yun, this has to be discussed, and this has to be discussed thoroughly. Hindi lang few people in the PMA, hindi lang konting tao sa PRC. Every society has to have an input. Even the general practitioners have to have an input na wala naman silang technically subspecialty. And now that we're shifting to primary healthcare, magkakaroon din ng change sa structure ng health system. So malamang meron ding lalabas na mga problema as we go along. Kasi mag-iiba na yung relationship between doctor to doctor and doctor to patient, and how patients are being seen. So alam mo yun, we have to be updating ourselves here. And also making it the code of ethics something of yung application kasi, ethics is the application of morality. So in effect, yung basihan ng ethics is unchanging. Kasi what is true and what is good for the benefit of the person, the community, the family, it stays the same. I mean, no matter what they say, but how we apply it because of changing landscape, technologies, and even societal problems, doon nagka-come into play yung changes ng ethics. Not to say nagbabago yung moral foundations ng ethical principles natin. So I hope that was clear for our viewers.
Yeah. So thank you for that, Doc Zelo. So in summary, ang nangaalala ko sa mga sinabi mo, pwede ka namang mag-set up ng Facebook page mo. You can also put there your clinic hours. Okay, pwede yun. And you can also educate, but if you're going to educate ka lang. And of course, don't go to the boundaries ng ano ba talaga yung pagiging ethical doctor. See yourself as a professional and people look up to you, 'di ba? As doctors, they look up to us. So parang we have to be responsible. Ano ba itsura natin sa labas? So ethics wise, alam na natin 'yun eh, parang. And also sa marketing and ads, okay. So ang sabi mo, it's really on the gray area. So we have to really have that updates. Dapat ma-update na rin yung ating rules and medical ethics. And of course, it has to be ano talaga holistic. Kumbaga lahat people will come into studying it more thoroughly with representative from all groups. Kasi eventually, hindi lang naman to social media, in a lot of other ways, nag-iiba-iba yung landscape. So with that, ano pa ba? Do you have any last words of wisdom? Si Doc Roslyn, may question ka pa ba? Anything, Doc Zelo, that you want to say to our viewers? Ayan, ano daw clinic hours mo? Sige, go.
Ano lang ako, I practice in government so far ngayon. So, words of hindi ko naisip yan kanina na mag-any last words. Ano ba? Always search for the good and what is true, because I mean in the changing times, people nalilito na how to do things and how to tell if what they're doing is right or wrong. Just remember na you have to look for what is innately true in whatever task you are doing, and at the same time, if you don't know it that well, be cautious, be prudent in your dealings, in your actions. If you're uncertain, then contemplate on it, ask an expert, ask a colleague. In our practice naman, na hindi isang doktor ay may alam ng lahat. So, alam natin yan, Dr. Pinky, when we were in the Barrios. Si Doktora nasa Palawan, ako nasa Mindanao at that time. And we were constantly in communication and helping each other through phone kapag may problema at hindi namin alam kung ano yung gagawin sa mga certain situations. Alam mo, it really helps na we have our colleagues helping us, we helping them as well. That's very important. So being a doctor, it's a group practice, all for the benefit of the patient, for the community, for the country. So, and what I always say to my students in medical ethics is the heart of the medical profession. It doesn't matter kung ikaw ang pinakamatalinong tao, you cannot be a doctor kung wala kang grounded na moral and ethical principles. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Vote for Dr. Hindi pala siya kumakandidato.
Hindi ako tumatakbo baka mamaya hanapin ako.
Joke lang yun. Kasi ang ganda ng yung last words mo parang yan. Congratulations daw, Doc Zelo from Doc Roslyn. Ayan. So, thank you so much, everyone. So, kung wala na kayong tanong, we're going to end, but I hope we were able to help you guys clear out ano ba yung gagawin nyo sa social media nyo. Kasi parang parating tanong, ano ba yung limit? Ano ba? Pwede ba to? Diba? So at least ngayon, medyo clear na sa atin. So yung iba na hindi pa clear, medyo gray area pa talaga siya. So hindi natin madidiscuss yun. So with that, thank you so much, Doc Angelo de Guzman, and to all our viewers at yung mga nagre-replay lang nito. So I hope we were able to help you, and good evening. Doc Zelo, magbabay ka na.
Ay, Dr. Pinky, baka kung gusto nila mag-comment, halimbawa sa replay na lang nila or ano.
Yes.
Leave a comment na lang dun sa page mo. Yes. And then we'll try to answer na lang from there.
Yes, we'll answer it na lang. Alright? Sa ating expert. So with that, good evening, everyone. Bye.
Bye.